Stats Canada releasing its latest GDP report showing an increase of 0.5% on an annualized rate. That translates to a 2.1% increase and surpasses the Bank of Canada forecast. Joining us now is CTV's Jeremy Charon to talk a little bit more about this. Thanks as always, Jeremy, for joining us. How do we read this report?
Yeah, Roger, I mean, the Bank of Canada had projected an annualized rate of growth of 2%, and this Q2 update is 2.1% of annualized growth. So the economy is doing slightly better than than Stats Canada had projected, and that's mostly driven by higher government spending, increased business investments, and higher consumer spending on services. The economy showed a decline, though, in exports, residential construction, and consumer spending on goods. Now, on a per-person basis, the economy actually shrank for the fifth straight month, an indication that population growth continues to outpace economic growth. And we look at the last 2 months specifically, Roger, which are going to be very important indicators as to where the economy is at the moment, and is information that experts will be relying on for other more important decisions that are coming up. But in the month of June and July, the economy stayed relatively unchanged, and Stats Canada says that early indications for July show a second straight month of virtually no change in the economy. So those are signs, certainly, of an economy that has slowed down, that has seen the impacts or felt the impacts of inflation, high interest rates, all measures that the Bank of Canada is looking at closely ahead of another big decision next week.
And of course, now is any indicators that slowdown you're mentioning, are we done with the slowdown or is there more to come?
It looks like we'll continue to see this trend as of right now, like a continued gradual slowdown or at least a flattening. What we don't want to see is a big uptick in the economy. And when I say you don't want to see that, talking in relation to continued cuts at the Bank of Canada. So all indications right now show, and experts are predicting, widely predicting, that next week, when the Bank of Canada updates its interest rate, we'll see another 0.25% cut. And most experts are still predicting another 2 cuts this year. So we'll see likely a drop next week to a key interest rate of 4.25%, and then likely 2 more 0.25% cuts this year. So measures that the Bank of Canada had taken to kind of cool the economy, cool inflation, seem to be working and are continuing to move in the right direction for anybody who is looking to see interest rate cuts at the Bank of Canada. So good signs in that regard.
Okay, lots more to talk about, but for now we're out of time. Jeremy, thank you as always.